Welcome to Forex Daybreak, a daily podcast where we cover 8 Forex pairs and give you our view on the market direction for these pairs. If you are trading Forex market, this is the #1 show to start your trading day. Now, let's begin today's episode.
Good morning everybody and welcome to Forex Daybreak episode 27. In this daily Forex update, I will give you my view on 8 Forex pairs I analyze using Elliott wave principle. My name is Ville Vainio and today is 14th of September 2015. This podcast is recorded also as video and it is available from the members area at ForexDayBreak.com. Show notes for this episode can be found at ForexDayBreak.com/27. Now let's get started. And let's go right onto the markets with the first pair, which is EURUSD, like always. And I made a slight revision on EURUSD yesterday, Sunday. I made my usual forecast on my website, ForexDayBreak.com. Also, I post this on Facebook, so many of you might have seen it on the Facebook groups I participate. So in this new revision, this latest upwards move I have labeled as minute wave 2. So the first 5-wave structure would then be concluded and the low of the 5th wave is at 110.85. Price now 113.43. And we are right at the Fibonacci expansion level, the 161.8% Fibonacci expansion level, which is at 113.615. So we might get a slight upwards move today, but I'm looking for a reversal and a conclusion of this minute wave 2 correction, and next larger move should be to the downside and a continuation for this downtrend. Key levels on EURUSD are that the immediate resistance on the upside is 113.62 and this is the 161.8% Fibonacci expansion level. Next support on the downside 112.74 and this is the 100% Fibonacci expansion level. So downside is expected and a good trading opportunity here. If you remember, I already went short on this last week. I have this trade still on. It's slightly on the negative territory, but I haven't closed it. It hasn't hit my stop loss, which is quite high. So I'm keeping this trade running because I'm still expecting more downside on EURUSD. And I would propose that if you are going to enter short here, look for a first small 5-wave structure to the downside on smaller time frame charts, so you can get more confirmation on the next downturn and will get a nice entry for this short trade. I'm expecting this next wave to the downside to be at least as long as this first wave. So the first wave has started from 117.14 and reached all the way to 110.8, so 630 pips approximately. So I'm expecting this next wave down to be at least as long as this first wave. So a good trading opportunity here, but be patient and look for a good entry point for this trade. Okay, next is dollar yen. And dollar yen is more or less on a sideways price range, maybe forming a small degree triangle. This is perhaps a 4th wave position on a small degree. and I'm expecting more upside on this. I also have a trade here running, which is slightly on a negative territory, but nothing major and nothing alarming here. Key levels on dollar yen, 121.3 is the next resistance, and 120 psychological level is on the downside, the next support level. More upside is expected here once we finish this sideways corrective phase, and dollar yen should continue higher. Price now 120.62, and if you are going long here, perhaps now is a good time to take a position here. Perhaps also it is wise to look a better entry point at the lower time frame charts, maybe 30-minute chart or 15-minute charts would give a clear indication of the next impulsive wave higher. So make your own judgment as to where the perfect entry is in this pair. Okay, next is pound dollar. Next is pound dollar, and the upwards correction here has continued. We are more or less going on a sideways price action here, perhaps forming a B wave of this sharp zigzag corrective form. Maybe we are going to see a decline next if this is a B wave that is now forming, but in my opinion this correction is not over yet. Maybe this is the A part that we have now finished, and B wave is forming more or less on sideways, and we should get one more push higher. Another option or alternative wave count here is that the B wave has already finished the last sideways motion, which is right here. Those of you who are watching the video can see this area here. It's right between the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement and the 23.6 Fibonacci retracement. So between those perhaps is the B wave, and we are now forming the C wave. But whatever the case, I'm looking for a slight more upside motion here, perhaps towards the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement level, which is at 155.67. The price now 154.5. So perhaps there's going to be a upside move and then a reversal. I am long-term bearish on this pair, and my wave count is proposing that we are now on minute wave 3 impulsive wave and forming the wave 2 correction. Key levels on pound dollar are 50% Fibonacci level at 155 is the next resistance level, and 38.2% Fibonacci retracement level is at 154.13. Those are the key levels to watch for here. I would not trade this pair right now. We are on a correction and might be in the later stages of this correction. There might be a decent upwards move in the 100 pip range, but I am long-term bearish on this pair, so I wouldn't trade this at the moment. Okay, next is Euro Pound. Euro Pound has moved higher, price now 0.734, and perhaps this is the long-awaited fifth wave move higher to finish up this large corrective phase, but still too early to say since we are on the sideways range still. This pair hasn't moved higher. and the key levels are more or less the same. 0.7276 is the next support on the downside. 0.7357 is a resistance level on the upside. So the 0.7276 is the support level. And I'm still looking for the last fifth wave up here, and I wouldn't trade this since the upside is quite limited and it is hard to say if this is going higher or are we still on the sideways range. I have labeled the minuette wave 4 as completed and the low is 0.724 approximately. Those of you who are watching the video can see the label, the fourth wave low. But if we would see a push higher, perhaps in the 74.5 levels, this would be satisfactory conclusion for this very large sideways range and even larger corrective intermediate wave 4. So let's look for that upside move, and then we can start thinking about trading this to the downside, since there should be one more large wave down in this pair. Okay, next is Euro Yen, which has continued very strongly to the upside. This move from the low, which is at 132.2, is very strong, almost vertical, and hardly any sideways or pullbacks here. In my opinion, this is still a corrective move and can be at the later stages. Price now 136.76, and we are past the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement level. I would say we are due for a reversal here, and if we move higher and are approaching the 139 levels, then my wave count here might be incorrect. And I have looked the daily chart, and there might be a large triangle forming here if this active count, this preferred count, does not play out. Then my second best wave count is going to be some sort of triangle formation. This is not looking very plausible, but always it is good to have a backup plan and a different view of the market if something does not go the way it should go, so then you can have some kind of backup count on your sleeve. But the preferred count is proposing that this is a second wave corrective upwards move, and we should see a reversal soon in this pair, and then we can start to think about trading this pair to the downside for the next impulsive wave. Key levels on Euro Yen are that 137 is the immediate resistance level on the upside, 134.4 is the downside support, and this is the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement level. Okay, next is Pound Yen. Pound Yen is more or less on the sideways motion still. We are right at the 38.2 Fibonacci retracement level, forming a B wave in my opinion. Price now 186.215, and I'm expecting a push to the downside, perhaps towards the 23.6% Fibonacci retracement level, which is at 183.66. and after that one more push higher to complete the minute wave 2 correction, and perhaps we can trade the C wave if this plays out like I have thought about it. So if we see a decline towards 184 levels, we can start to think about, and also of course if this is clearly corrective looking decline, then we can get ready for the C wave to the upside. If this declines clearly in an impulsive manner, then of course there is no point of trading the C wave to the upside, because this can then be concluded correction. So let's look for that next decline if it's corrective looking, since the decline already is quite sideways looking. So this is the main reason I'm expecting a corrective decline next. Okay, key levels on pound yen: 187.665 is the next resistance, 185.87 is the next support. So a decline towards 184 levels is expected, and then the C wave of this correction to the upside towards 190 levels, 189.5 levels, which is the 61.8% Fibonacci level. And once this plays out, if it plays out like this, we can start projecting more targets, more accurate targets on the upside. So let's see how it plays out. Okay, next is Euro Canadian. Also a slight revision here, a very similar wave count than in Euro USD, and Euro Canadian is also on the later stages of minute wave 2 correction, and next move should be a decline to the downside as minute wave 3 will start, and this is a good trading opportunity in Euro Canadian. I have this trade running here which is on the negative territory, but I am going to keep this running since I am expecting more downside, and I am expecting this trade to go on to the profit and get some pips out of it. Key levels on Euro Canadian: 150.9, so 1509 is next resistance on the upside. Price now is 150, quite even. And on the downside, 149 is the next downside support, so quite nice round numbers here. So perhaps we have seen the last of this minute wave 2, perhaps we get slight more upside, and then we can trade this pair to the downside. Okay, finally we have US dollar Canadian, and during the weekend I also made some changes in this wave count. So the latest high I have labeled now as minute wave 3, 133.54 is the high now, and this is now a minute wave 3, and this latest sideways range is A wave plus a B wave triangle, and those of who are watching the video can clearly see that this is the formation I'm talking about. So there's a 3-wave downwards move as wave A, and now a triangle as wave B, and the thrust from the triangle would give a downwards target at around 130. So couple of 100 pip move to the downside is expected here. Perhaps there is a decent trade to be entered here, but I wouldn't enter just yet. I would look for maybe a 5-wave structure to the downside, then a 3-wave pullback for this C wave, and I would look for a small impulsive move on 30-minute charts or 15-minute charts to get a good entry point. And perhaps there is a 150 pip, 200 pip move to trade here to the downside. Okay, that's all for today's episode. Visit the show notes at forexdaybreak.com/27 and leave your comments on that page. And remember that this podcast is recorded also as video and it is available from the members area at forexdaybreak.com. Two other features you find there are my Elliott Wave Ninja trading system and my mentoring program. All of these are included in the subscription plan at forexdaybreak.com. So it's $25 per month and you have all of these features. Also, I have a 5-day free trial for you to see what's inside. Thanks for listening to my show. Now go make some profits and I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye.
Thanks for your interest in Forex Daybreak Daily Podcast. If you like this show, we hope you'll visit our website, www.forexdaybreak.com, and tell your friends about us. Be sure to check the show notes on our website for this episode. Join us next time for another episode of Forex Daybreak.